morning and happy Friday. It's Jen from Polk County Public Libraries, and today I'm going to do a board game demo for a game that you can check out from our collection. So the game is called Mille Bornes. It is a French game, so that means 1,000 milestones in French. It's for ages 8 and up, for 2 to 6 players. And it's a very old game. As you can see, this version is mine from home, and it says it's from 1964. So the one we have at the library is a nice newer one in a tin box, but it's checked out right now, so I'm showing you the one I have from home. So we'll go through the different cards and how to play, and hopefully you guys will want to check it out because it is a very fun, fast game. All right. So pretend you are driving a car and your goal is to drive 1,000 miles. As a driver, you are subject to certain rules of the road. You can only go when the light is green. You must stop when the light is red. You must obey speed limits. If you get a flat tire, you have to wait for a spare. If you run out of gas, you have to wait to get more gas. And if you have an accident, your car has to be repaired. So these are all situations throughout the game. So there are different cards here that you will play on your opponent. You are trying to beat your opponent. It is an attack game, so you're trying to prevent them from winning. So you can play stop, and then they can't go again until they get a green roll card. You can play out of gas, and then they'll need a gas card to go. You can play speed limit, and then they'll need an end of limit card to play any speed over 50. You can play flat tire, and then they will need a spare tire card to continue, or you can play accident, and they'll need a repair card to continue. There's also the speed card, so there's 200, 100, 75, 50, and 25. Now your goal is to get to exactly 1,000 miles using these cards. Then there are the safety cards. So these, there are only 4 in the whole deck. If you get these, this means that that person can't play one of the attack cards on you the rest of the game. So there's the right of way, there's the extra tank, there's the driving ace, and there's the puncture proof. So those all coincide with one of the attack cards. And if you play that, then your opponent can't play that certain attack card on you for that round. So the object of the game is to accumulate a total of 5,000 points in several hands of play. And in each hand, you're trying to complete a trip of exactly 1,000 miles. So there are 112 cards, and I went over what all the cards were. There are also some guide cards and some scoring cards. You'll want to take those out, of course, before you shuffle and deal the cards, because those are just for reference. All right, let's see. So there's, like I said, the distance cards, hazard cards, the remedy cards, and the safety cards. So there's the 4 different types of cards you use throughout the game. So this is for 2 to 6 players. If you're playing for 4 or 6 players, you're going to be on teams. If you're playing 2 or 3 players, it's going to be each person for themselves, and you can look at the rule book to get the exact rules depending on how many people you have. So you're going to deal out 6 cards to each person, and they'll have that in their hand, and you want to keep those hidden from the other players. And then you'll have your draw pile and then your discard pile in this nice little container here. You're going to go around, you're going to play a card, and just keep continuing. You could play a hazard card on another player. You could play a remedy card to help yourself. You can play what are these called again? Let's see. A distance card to get up to your 1,000 miles. And then you can play a safety card. Now, if you have a safety card, you might want to wait to play it until an opponent plays that particular hazard on you, because this is a really fun part that we always like when we're playing. So if, for example, this is a puncture proof safety card. So I'm going to save it until one of my opponents lays down the flat tire card on me. And if you have the safety card that corresponds with that hazard card, you get to yell coup fourré, which is a French fencing term. And then you immediately play it, and then you immediately get to go. So it's an advantage to you if you wait to play it until it's a response to a hazard card that was laid on your pile. So you're going to go through the turns playing the different cards. Once one person gets exactly 1,000 miles through these cards, then you're going to stop that round, calculate points. All right, so the way you calculate points, first, the milestones played. So if you got exactly 1,000 milestones, you'll get 1,000 points. If you got 800, you'll get 800 points, 700, etc. For each safety card, those are those really good cards, there are only 4 in the deck. If you played one of those, you get 100 for each. If you happen to play all 4 for yourself or your team, then you get a 700 point bonus. So that doesn't happen very often. Coup fourré, if you did a coup fourré, you get a 300 point bonus for each coup fourré. If you completed your trip, so you got to at least 1,000 points, you get a 400 point bonus. Delayed action is 300. Now, do I know what that means? Delayed action. Okay, if your trip of 1,000 miles is completed after all of the cards in the tray are exhausted, so it took you to get to the bottom of the deck, then you get a 300 point bonus for delayed action. If you had a safe trip, which means you got to 1,000 or however far you got without laying any 200 milestones, you get a bonus 300 points. If you had an extension, this is another thing I have to look up here. Extension. Well, you know, I'm not sure and I don't want to spend half the video looking, so look in your book to see what extension means. You would get 200 points for that. And if you get a shutout, which means you got 1,000 before anybody got anything, which is pretty unlikely, you would get 500 bonus points. So for each round, you'll add up all those points, and then once you finish a round and someone has over 5,000, it's over, and whoever has the most points wins. So I hope that explained it a little bit. It's not too hard of a game. It's just a fun, easy card game. So I hope you guys will check it out and enjoy.